So we just completed a 96-hour streamathon live on YouTube where we streamed the entire Black Ops 7 Zombies Mastery Camo grind all in the last week. Come on. Let's go! Infestation! Unlock Infestation for any camo. Let's go! Unlock Doomsteel Camo on all 30 weapons. Unlock Elite Flatline. Let's go! Fucking done, bitches. Now, this has been an amazing camo to be able to achieve. And so I wanted to be able to give you guys a lot of the best legitimate tips and strategies on augment builds, some of the frequently asked questions you guys have, how to maximize on certain different camos, and then also to give a little bit about my review about the camo grind, and then also the state of the game so far as well. Now, I'm super excited about this, so if this video helps you out at all, please comment down below and let me know, and then also share your individual tips that you all guys also have in the comments to help out anybody else who watches this video. I'm so excited to be able to bring this information, this education to you guys today, so let's get right to today's video. So first things first, make sure to use the timestamps down below to make sure that you skip around to the section of today's video that you need most. And then second, you're gonna wanna make sure to go to www.zombiesinfohub.com to actually get access to this information about this video today, and then also to get any kind of other information about Black Ops 7 Zombies features when it comes to weapons, wall weapons, any kind of characteristics, a lot of other information, attachment. Well, I'm actually not going to put any attachments on. I might as well just go delete that. But then also all the perks with including all of the augments. If you're new to the channel, you guys, this is where I keep all of the information that we do for everything. So make sure to utilize this to your heart's content. But let's just get into some of the FAQs from some of the frequently asked questions about Black Ops 7 Zombies Mastery Camo grind that I have received lately. So first things first, let me go ahead and give some basic information about the Mastery Camos overall for zombies and how you can unlock them. So there are a set of mastery or of military camos which you just need to obtain 1,000 total headshots with almost all the weapons. The shotguns themselves only require point blank kills, so 1,000 point blank kills. And then when it comes to weapons like the melee weapons and also launchers, all you do is just get 1,000 eliminations with it against bosses or also zombies as well. Now, from there, once you've completed the mastery camos, you unlock the ability to obtain 3 special camos as well for each weapon on each class. Now, those 3 specialty camos can be unlocked and progressed at the same time, so you can and should be min-maxing your time to ultimately unlock all 3 of them at the same time. One of the easiest tips is to write down what you have for those specialty camos, so that way once you get in game, you're able to you might not be able to see all 3 on your camo tracker, on your challenge tracker on the pause menu, but you will be able to continue to progress them. Now, a few other tips to be able to help out with that. One, there is now the ability for you to track individual weapon camos on the challenge tracker on the pause menu. It's not as easy to figure out how to track individual camos themselves for each weapon. You only track the weapon's next camo in sequential order based on the order of all the camos. So even though you have all 3 of those especially camos that you're working on, only one of them will show as pinned. Now, if one of the other ones gets much closer, then it might show up on that mastery track, that camo tracker on the pause menu. A second, more effective option that you can use here on the Zombies Info Hub, I've actually got a great resource from one of my great buddies, Donuts. Donuts actually every year creates a weapon camo tracker. So you can just click on this link or go directly to Donuts' channel to be able to find his weapon camo tracker. Now on Donut's camo tracker, he actually has the Zombies Master Camos, Multiplayer, Campaign, Warzone, and then also the Zombies Badge tracker as well, if you want to also track all of those. So he's done a fantastic job on this. I highly recommend you guys go and check out Donuts. Anyway, but all the way over here, he's also got his video of the explanation of the tracker that you can click. And then also in my link right here, you'll get a very fresh copy of that. You'll be able to copy it directly to your own Google Drive to be able to use. And this is a fantastic camo tracker that I highly recommend. You can use this to help you identify the next 3. If you have this up on your phone, up on another screen, you can easily identify this. There is also IGN's camo list as well, if you want to use any of those 3 to be able to track and identify exactly what you need as well. So tons of resources and tons of ways for you to be able to stay up on exactly what those 3 specialty camos are. Now, after you've earned all 3 of those specialty camos, then you have the ability to start progressively unlocking the 4 mastery camos. And that includes Golden Dragon, which is going to always be get 10 kills rapidly 15 times. And then the next one will be Bloodstone, which is going to be get 20 consecutive kills without taking damage 5 times. Doomsteel, which is going to be just eliminate 10 zombies or 10 elite enemies, which right now is just a bear with your weapons. And then unlocking Doomstone is that requirement is literally, or excuse me, Infestation is literally just unlock Doomstone on 30 different weapons. So you cannot progress all 4 of those at the same time, one by one actually. So one of my best tips is to go through and unlock Golden Dragon on each weapon in a weapon class, and then also go ahead and unlock Bloodstone as well on those same weapons. For the most part, the reason why I say that is to unlock Golden Dragon and Bloodstone for the class at a time instead of going back through and doing everything. It's super simple. As you go through, let's say that you complete 6 SMGs for Golden Dragon. On that 6th SMG, it's extremely easy just to go ahead and get 20 consecutive kills without taking damage 5 times while you're already at that higher round where it's more manageable for you to even get 10 kills rapidly 15 times. It's just easier to go ahead and do that right then. See if you can min-max your strategies by grabbing wall weapons or also grabbing SMGs from the box to continue getting the rest of them. And you might have to leave the game and come back into a few games to be able to get the rest of them. But that would be one of my best tips in that strategy. Once you do unlock Bloodstone on all of the classes, then you unlock the ability to be able to start progressing Doomstone. So another big question that I've seen so far is if you have to complete the challenges for every single weapon, which you do. You have to complete the challenge for all 30 weapons. Granted, once we start getting DLC weapons, those weapons will count to the minimum requirement of Doomstone on 30 weapons. It doesn't matter if it's launch weapons or any weapons at all. So if you're doing the camo grind after, you don't want to maybe do the camo grind on snipers and launchers and melee weapons, but you decide to wait until we get more weapons that are released in the DLC launches and the seasonal content, then all that is required is 30 weapons rather than specifically unlocking each individual weapon at launch in order to get Infestation unlocked. What counts as a rapid kills versus kills consecutively without taking damage, and also where's the best place to kind of farm some of those. So when it comes to rapid kills, that just means that you get successive kills within a 10-second time frame as well. So that's going to be for the Golden Dragon. And then also when it comes to consecutive kills without taking damage, that just means that you just cannot get hit in between any of the kills that you get. And now when it's to progress Bloodstone. Now, the best farming method, I know a lot of people are just kind of suggesting running the early rounds and just like getting consecutive kills without taking damage and just like get like 100 kills in a row, like from rounds like 1 through 7, just try not to get hit. I feel like that takes so long. Like that is obviously one strategy that you can do, but I feel like that takes so long. One of the best things that most people are not aware of is that ammo mods also count towards you getting both rapid kills and consecutive kills as well. So the best ammo mod that you can use is going to be fireworks. I literally forgot fireworks. So the best ammo mod that you should use for this is going to be fireworks. And I know. Fireworks doesn't work that well until you see what I'm going to show you here. Hold on. But first, let's talk about the actual best augments to unlock and use for that first. So when you come into information from YouTube videos, the easiest way to utilize this is going to be just to click on class. If you don't see class down here, over in the top right, you'll see three lines with three blue little lines that say filter. Click on filter, and then you'll be able to filter by class to be able to identify. But I'm going to kind of go over this here shortly with you anyway. I want to talk a little bit about fireworks itself. So fireworks is amazing when it comes to utilizing this on any camos at all, any camos whatsoever. So when it comes to fireworks, you're going to want to use the major augment Starburst. Fireworks explodes immediately, sending flares through enemies in all directions. This is going to give you a massive amount of explosion immediately, killing a lot of zombies that are in the area. So far, wait, pause. And then also Starlight as well and Short Fuse are going to be great minor augments to have. If you don't have the extra minor slot unlocked just yet, then go ahead and make sure you have Fireworks launches more flares. This will be much better. And then once you have that extra slot, Fireworks cooldown is reduced. That will ultimately help you in the Bloodstone progress. But let me talk a little bit about this. So as far as right now, when it comes to Fireworks, it's looking like Fireworks with Starburst and with Starlight combined, it has somewhere around maxes out at 30 total kills that it can get consecutively. So what I mean by that is when you pop, the best strategy to do this is to kind of train zombies a little bit until you have a horde, and then shoot a few bullets into the horde until Fireworks procs. Now, one thing that you need to know for this is that there is a cooldown. So if you come over to the Black Ops 7 Zombies features and you come over to Elemental Pop, in Elemental Pop here, I've got the time for the cooldown. So when it comes to cooldowns for Fireworks, Fireworks has a 35-second cooldown. Thank you to Gerard as well, always, because he's always giving us information on this too, helping us out. But Fireworks has a 35-second cooldown timer between each ammo mod cooldown. Now, if you want to learn more about ammo mods and how they work, I'll link the my Elemental Pop video here, and it dives all the way into this. There's a lot of information that you need to know directly about how the cooldown timers work, because there are two timers. There's an ammo mod based cooldown timer, and then there's also an Elemental Pop timer as well. So at base, if you don't have Elemental Pop on, but you just have Fireworks on, it's gonna be a 35-second cooldown, and this essentially doubles to 70 seconds if you have on Elemental Pop, which is a secondary cooldown timer. So every 70 seconds, you have an additional Fireworks proc. Now, that Elemental Pop cooldown does not interrupt the current Fireworks timer. So you still have a 35-second timer there. Again, go watch the Elemental Pop video. You're gonna learn all things about how these different cooldowns work and everything else around them. Just know that it takes 35 seconds minimum before you get an additional proc. So if you are utilizing my strat with Fireworks, every about 35 to 40 seconds, just kind of train zombies, and then without getting hit, obviously, depending on whichever one you're doing, whether it's rapid kills or consecutive kills without taking damage. Train the zombies for about 35 to 40 seconds, shoot a few bullets into the horde, and then the Fireworks will immediately explode and do a lot of damage and kill up to, again, 30 zombies for you, meaning that you can get 3 sets of 10 consecutive kills without taking damage and 1 Fireworks, and you can get 2 sets of 15 kills, 15 kills rapidly 10 times. So this is one of the best strategies. The reason why I don't suggest using other ammo mods specifically is because Shadow Rift, it's really finicky about the number of zombies that you're going to get the chance to kill. Also, Shadow Rift doesn't work as well. Fireworks has just a 5-second longer cooldown timer and is much more predictable than Shadow Rift. Napalm Burst doesn't explode massive amounts of zombies at one time. Deadwire does kind of have that stunning effect, but it has a stun effect of a larger AoE. That's what you use Deadwire for, is for that larger AoE stun effect, which still won't kill zombies as quickly. Cryo freeze is mostly just to add DPS to your weapon, and then brain rot, you're gonna brain rot a zombie, so it's not gonna get. So fireworks in this case should be used the same way as Shatter Blast was with like your melee weapon from Black Ops Cold War. It is so effective. If you want to see, let me show you this specifically from one of my live streams. So let's talk about the best strategy in order to unlock Doomsteel only weapons, which is to eliminate 10 elite zombie kills. So obviously that only applies to the bear at this point right now. That's the only elite zombie that we have in the game. So the very first bear spawns at round 16 on the survival maps, and I'm not as sure about the information about the bear spawns on the round base on Ashes of the Dam. I don't know as much about it. I just only grinded bears on survival mode. So the very first one's going to spawn at round 16, and then from there they spawn about every 4 rounds, every 4 to 6 rounds. And then as things progress after about around round 30, you start to see them around once every 3 rounds. To be honest with you, before I was grinding it felt like it was coming. They were coming every other round, but they come every about 3 rounds, where you could be potentially getting about 2. If you're in co-op, you'd be able to get about 3 of them as well, up into a manageable amount through rounds about 40. So my biggest recommendation is to grind survival mode, so that way you can consistently get those. Now, if you're grinding co-op, that's fine, that works. You obviously are trying to flip around as much as possible, especially if you have a friend there who's not necessarily also needing to kill elites, then it helps you out because then you get those multiple elite spawns as well. But what I have found to be even faster is doing it in solo. And in solo, all you have to do, if it's like the earlier rounds where you know there's only going to be 1 bear, as soon as you kill the bear, go ahead, save and quit, leave, and then come right back in, and that bear should respawn, and essentially you can get double of those bears every single round. Essentially that's exactly how it works. Now in those higher rounds, sometimes when you do that, when you come back in, you might end up getting a round where there's only 1 bear instead of 2 or 3 bears, where there were some before. And then also be very cognizant that the fact that you could leave and come back and they just instantly do a Ravager or specialty round. A second big tip is going to be to use the Hunter bot to assist you. The Hunter bot is an amazing tactical to use against the specials, elites, and HVTs. Now, once you get to round 40, there are going to be special zombies, which are in survival mode, the Doppelgast. So if you use your Hunter bot already, you throw it up into the sky. Actually, let me explain to you what the Hunter bot does. So the Hunter bot, you're going to be able to use this equipment, this tactical, which costs like 250 scraps, so it's really cheap. It just takes a bit longer to unlock. I believe it's like in the 30 or 40 for progress. But once you unlock it and once you have it, you're able to shoot up to 2 Hunter bot drones into the sky, and it'll sit there for rounds if there's no special or elite that comes in. And it'll sit there, and once a special or an elite or HVT spawns in, it will go after and immediately attack and do mass amounts of damage to that special or elite, and also AoE damage, also killing zombies around it. This Hunter bot, you should specifically use, best way to use it, if you're early to round 40, is just to, as soon as you get one, put one into the sky. Make sure that you're in a central location as well, so that way the Hunter bot has the space and the pathing to attack a boss, a bear, once the bear spawns. So for example, you don't want to put it up inside the house or too near the house, so that way it ends up running into it, because it can run into any of the items or any of the landscape or environment that is around it and die. Also, you want to make sure you shoot it straight up into the sky as well when you are shooting it, so that way it gets as high as possible, so that way it can be able to target directly downward onto the bubble of the or that cyst or whatever that the bear has as well. Be very careful of not hitting an insta kill, because the Hunter bot can insta kill the bears as well. You can use 2 Hunter bots. I don't suggest using 2 until after about round 26. That's where the bear's health is strong enough to where using 2 Hunter bots won't fully kill it, but it will significantly bring its health down to where you can get maybe 2 or 3 shots on the bear. And especially if you're using melee or rocket launchers, that is super helpful for reducing the amount of time that you're fighting the bear. Bears become no problem when you have hunter bots around. They are the extremely best way to be able to grind that, especially in combination with the save and quit feature. So I would always recommend you playing that solo with the hunter bot versus going in co-op, just because there's more bear spawns, especially when you have the save and quit feature as well. So let's talk about some of the specialty camos and some of the best ways to be able to unlock those specialty camos, so that way you're not beating your head into a wall. So obviously when it comes to some of the most important ones that most people are having troubles with are the MMOD mod activations. So when it comes to MMOD mods that you need to be equipped versus activated, the ones that are going to be activated are going to be Fireworks and also Shadow Rift, which both have that similar 30 or 35 second cooldown. With that just the best way to use that is, instead of just consistently shooting with that weapon, I'd highly recommend, one, you use a weapon that you use that weapon as a secondary, and every 30 seconds that it loads up, go ahead and shoot a horde of zombies as well. Again, Fireworks can kill up to 30 zombies at a time. Shadow Rift, I'm not as knowledgeable because I did not test Shadow Rift at all, but it does get a lot of kills, and that's the best way is going to be to round them all up and to be able to only use that weapon, so that you don't accidentally proc that effect by utilizing, well, Shadow Rift. Now, you want to make sure that you are also using Elemental Pop, because it will give you more chances to trigger those MMOD mods. And with Elemental Pop, you want to for sure have on Citrus Focus, to where it only activates that that MMOD mod that you have on, and then also slightly reduce all MMOD cooldowns with Chillberry as well. You're going to make sure to have those both on, so that way you ultimately get the best amount of procs out of both Fireworks and Shadow Rift. And then obviously with both of them, make sure to have the cooldown augments on as well. That will help out. So just train until you have a horde of zombies, and until after about 30, 35 seconds, and then go ahead and throw some shots into them as well. That's going to be the best method for getting that done. As far as the rest of them, it's just make sure to have it equipped whenever you're getting kills. So that's going to be Brain Rot, Napalm Burst, Dead Wire, and Cryo Freeze. So make sure to have it equipped to your weapon to be able to get it, to be able to get those kills. Next, let's talk about the field upgrade requirements, because there are get kills immediately after field upgrades. Now, just so you know, the time for that timer for field upgrades is going to be 5 seconds. So you have 5 seconds between the time that you hit your field upgrade activation button before you actually before you run out of time. So you got to get as many kills as you can in that time. Again, the best thing to do is to horde a group of zombies and then activate Frenzy Guard, so that way all the zombies are near you. Yes, if they hit you or you got on the MMOD mod where they're going to fall down, then they might fall down. But horde them all up. Make sure that you have on, again, Fireworks, because it's going to be the most effective at getting a ton of kills. Fireworks, and then also proc your Frenzy Guard. Go ahead and swipe or shoot whatever you need to get Fireworks to activate during that time. And again, Fireworks will help you get a massive amount of kills with the weapon, with your Frenzy Guard on at that point in time. It's the best way. Now, the other issue about that is that depending on what you're using, you have to make sure that you have on, while Frenzy use ammo from the stock, you have to have that on if you're if you're doing it with bullet weapons, so that way it instantly starts shooting weapon or ammo from the stock, instead of you needing to reload or anything like that, because there is a slight activation space in between each of the procs or each of the activations of the field upgrades. When it comes to melee weapons, it's even worse. It's about a 2-second switch off the activation of your field upgrade, and then pull the melee weapon out. Regardless of all of these, you're going to have this huge delay in pulling a melee weapon out. So you really, when it comes to melee weapons, only got about 3 seconds. And then especially with that police baton thing that we have, that's going to take even longer. So you really want to maximize on utilizing fireworks to help get that immediate proc of a bunch of zombies to help you out, because it's the best way. I would highly suggest not to use Ether Shroud unless you're going to throw like a decoy or something that's going to attract all the zombies and then get those kills. Don't use Ether Shroud with the melee weapon in order to get kills against the bear, because the bear is going to run outside of the map and you're not going to be able to get those kills. So that's going to suck a lot. I should have given that example on the bear round, but whatever. Dark Flare, Energy Mine won't work for this because you get kills with Dark Flare and Energy Mine, or you're getting kills like why it's happening. So you're going to kill the zombies that are closest to you. And then also Healing Aura is a great option too, if you do want to use it. But for me, for some reason, Healing Aura just takes so much time, and then also it doesn't help you to recover as much like armor and all that stuff. And then Toxic Growth sucks because you're going to pop that down, and then all the zombies are going to be entrapped and potentially get killed from Toxic Growth instead of from your bullet weapon or your weapon. So that's how to best get those ones as well. So the next question is, how long does the grind take, and is it manageable doing it all in solo? So it is a very time-consuming grind, as all camo grinds are, but this grind is actually about a third as long as the grind from Black Ops 6 Zombies. So this grind took me a total of about 85 hours, 80 to 85 hours, excluding some of the other time that I was doing other stuff, but also about 80 to 85 hours of grinding time, and then also like hanging out with friends time as well, where we're like kind of casually playing, casually grinding. So I believe on average it'll probably take most people about 80 total hours to complete the Zombies Mastery Camo grind, based on all the solos, based on all the strategies and the camos. It is very possible to do it all completely solo, and I actually recommend doing it completely solo as well. But it also is going to depend on the weapons. For example, I highly recommend just doing launchers solo, because you need to get as many kills as you possibly can with those launchers. And launchers are very, very weak. So adding on an additional person is just going to make everything much slower. I think just having another person there just ruins the focus, and also remove some of the zombies from you as well. So a couple other tips just to kind of give. First off, I think the easiest way to go through the camo grind to where you are not burning yourself out is to start with SMGs. The SMGs are really easy. They're really fun class to play with. So it gets you excited. Plus, there's 6 camos there. So there's 6 weapons there. So you get a chunk of them done just by completing the SMGs really quickly. After SMGs, I would highly recommend going to do sniper rifles, then pistols, launchers, then melees. The reason for this is because these are the weapons that people have the hardest time with, or they struggle with, or is the slowest, or is like the least favorable ones. So the fact that you got a large fun chunk out of the way, and then you did snipers, the snipers are actually really fun to do in Black Ops 6 Zombies. Then you've got a large chunk, almost a third of it done. So it'll give you the motivation to push through the next, seven weapons that are not as fun. The pistol's actually pretty fun, and to be honest with you, I really like using the launchers. The Flatline Mark II sucks. It just completely sucks. It's the worst weapon to grind. So I highly recommend grinding these in the middle and then going back and doing marksman rifles, then LMGs, then shotguns, and then ARs, finishing with the ARs, because you at least have something easy to look forward to at the end of it, whenever this right here is giving you the most trouble. So I'd highly recommend doing that progression method. There's really nothing other than the mental fortitude and like the stress about it that you can do with that too. I highly recommend going up to only about round 40 to 45 on each playthrough that you do, because you can get about 2 full. You can get a full gold camo going up to about round 40 to 45. When it comes to ARs, I was averaging about round 47 with all the ARs as well, but the rest of them you can get pretty much almost all of them right after going through about maybe 1.5 times, depending on how good you are. But for the most part, going to like around 40 to 45, especially once it gets to the specialty camos or the elite challenges, to get those the bear kills, Really only going up to about round 40, 45 is necessary. I don't think that it makes more sense to just continuously go back in and restart on every single weapon. Definitely find something out of the box or specifically strategize on the wall weapons. Let me talk a little bit about strategizing on wall weapons. So if you come to the Zombies Info Hub, you'll find that on here, I've got the wall weapons on for Ashes of the Dam. I started doing the survival map, but for farm, I'm gonna have to continue doing that, but I've got the locations here. Plus, I've also got the levels that you unlock each weapon here. So the best thing that you could possibly do here is to come in and plan your route. If you are doing prestiges, then this is very, very important that you know what weapons you're gonna have access to that are not going to be unlocked till later on. So first off, you can come here and once again, you should filter these. So you're gonna make sure if you don't see filter or plus filter, you're gonna come over here to the right and click on filter. Once you do this, then the filter bar will open up. Once that filter bar opens up, you're gonna wanna go to wall weapon. You can just type wall weapon, map, click on wall weapon, and click contains is not empty. Is not empty. This will filter all of the weapons down to what is actually on the wall. So these 18 weapons are actually on walls. If they're in, well, again, outside of this one that I've actually did with Survival Farm. But all the rest of these are actually on the wall for Ashes of the Damned. So if you know that you're prestige or you're coming up on like, you know, the X9 Maverick, but you're only level, 15, but you've only got you got the X9 Maverick and the DS20 left, then it makes sense to just say, okay, I'll just go do the camo grind on Ashes of the Damned and just pick up the X9 Maverick from Ruby Rabbit and the DS20 Mirage from support systems off the wall, since they are going to be locked for a while. You can start to plan and map it out that way. I would highly say mapping and routing will help you out massively. Just don't forget that you need to also then go and check the camo tracker to see if you have, for example, cryo freeze or dead wire, or if you need to have a frenzy guard ready, or if you are using like fireworks or shadow rift or brain rot. If you need to use any of that stuff, you need to make sure that you understand how far that's going to be as well in your mapping of your weapons as well. That way you don't get completely blocked out and you can continue to do your grind. Also over here, you can also add another filter by level. So just search level here, and you can do anything that is not empty. So these are going to be all of the weapons that are on the wall, but are also locked behind progression as well. Or you can also change this to is empty. And these are going to be the weapons that you have total access to, both on the walls and then also that are unlocked for you. So these are the only 4 weapons that are totally unlocked to you in both ways. So I'd highly suggest, since these 4 weapons are totally unlockable to you, both be through progression and through wall buys, these 4 weapons, don't worry about at all. Probably keep this on your list last to go and progress. If you are doing, maybe the specialty camos now or something else, or like Doom or Bloodsteel or anything. These 4 weapons, you don't have to worry about as much because you're gonna have access to them completely. A really big tip that I'd highly suggest, especially when it comes to launchers specifically, is to put brain rot on your launchers whenever you are working with your launchers after you do your 1,000 kills. Only reason I say after you do 1,000 kills is because, well, you need to get 1,000 kills, and so having brain rot a zombie killing zombies for you won't help progress that. So after you've completed the military camos, I highly suggest you utilizing brain rot on your weapon, because you can have a secondary, and I highly recommend having a secondary melee weapon with Melee Macchiato's dedicated melee slot is the melee weapon. I'd highly recommend having fireworks on that melee weapon, so that way as you're grinding through your camos for the melee weapon, for the launchers, if you brain rot a zombie and you have it to where they attract other brain rotted zombies, then the zombies around them will all be attracted to that one zombie. You can go up melee with fireworks, and then you'll activate fireworks, killing them as well. That's a great way to help out with camo grinding for your melee weapons. And then also another great way to just kind of have the be grinding through for, especially when it comes to grinding for elites. Post editing and charming, I forgot one major tip before we move into the next part. One huge thing to do is the little side Easter egg quest on either maps, where you've got the spores that you can grab the oil cans from around the map and spray. I'd highly suggest to load in with toxic growth. And one of the Easter egg steps that you can, or one of the Easter eggs that you can do with that, is to put toxic growth down on that spore, and then go ahead and pour the oil on the spore and protect the spore. Doing that will give you a ton of scrap or salvage, excuse me, a ton of essence. And also you get the chance of getting both blue and purple rarity upgrade tools. And then also you get the chance to receive both Pack-a-Punch Tier 1 and Pack-a-Punch Tier 2 crystals. And then also you can probably get hunter bots from those and other equipment as well. That you should be doing for about the first 15 rounds up until the very first bear comes in at round 16 to progress so much faster. I never buy pack 1 or 2 at all. I only buy pack 3, and I buy perks. Plus those spores, if you do that little side Easter egg, will also award you with some random perks as well sometimes too. So do that to speed up your progression and your economy, especially because you might end up having to buy the box later on. So you want to keep as much money as you possibly can. So here's why I want to give some specific, best detailed strategies around how to identify the best augments essentially for all of these different pieces. Now you can come and do this yourself. You can come and do this yourself on here. So I'm not going to walk through every single thing, but I want to show you how to practically use this. So when you come to the best camo grinding tips section here under information from YouTube videos, like this YouTube video, again, if you don't see the filter button, make sure, if you don't see the filter bar, make sure to come up here to filter, and then you'll be able to add class right here and change the class up. So if you are going to work on any specific class, I'd highly recommend finding the class, let's say marksman rifles, for example, checking that off. And then this will give you the best augments for each perk to use for the marksman rifle class. So in this case, and this is based on what my preferences as well. You probably have different preferences, and I highly recommend you put that down below, especially explaining why. So when it comes to this, you're going to use the marksman rifle. In this case, I highly recommend hardened plates and durable plates. Those are 2 minors if you are using that to be able to get those. I'm going to have much more testing, detailing exactly the total mitigation of this. And then also reactive armor as well here to be able to optimize that, right? And then same thing with quick revive and crafting your kits there. Same thing with Speed Cola. I've just personally gone through to make sure that each of these works specifically for the melee weapons that I want to use for you guys. So according to like Deathshot, I highly recommend increase bullet damage to armor pieces and reduce gun movement while performing advanced movement, especially with the marksman rifles and even the sniper rifles. I probably have it also listed for sniper rifles as well. So that way you can move without your weapon completely moving from the screen. For those of you who don't know, when it comes to Dead Set, last year I tested Dead Set, and it was extremely helpful when it comes to movement. For example, if you are moving without Dead Set on versus with Dead Set on, you'll notice here that with Dead Set, my weapon stays in the camera and it keeps me able to get more kills, especially as you're trying to run around, jump on top of things as well. So watch this here. So this left side is Dead Set. You can actually see, without Deadshot. This right side is Dead Set. In the slow-mo, you're going to see my weapon stays in the camera the entire time. So it helps me out to make sure that when I need to get a shot, my weapon's staying up the whole time. Plus, also with marksman rifles and sniper rifles, they are heavier, so you want to be able to get back into the firing speed. You can also see by the green versus the white, the size of the hip fire spread that you're going to get just by mantling and jumping around onto different sections and platforms as well. But keeping that weapon up that whole time is going to be so very important, especially when it comes to sniper rifles and these marksman rifles. From there, also having on dead again, crits have a chance of adding a bullet back to your magazine. I think that's very big. One thing I would say is I did not change vulture aid whatsoever for anything really, other than maybe the crits for different weapons. But auto loot pickup from further away is extremely important, and then also picking up armor plate applies to your vest is extremely important. I've got like carrying luggage or picky eater. This just depends. I use carrying luggage for some of them, but I use picky eater for most. I put both of these on here for marksman rifles because you can choose either one as well, and then also double time and double nothing are both amazing when it comes to damage, and then every fourth bullet deals weapons. So like again, this works very well for marksman rifles. For the most part, I didn't change anything when it comes to ammo mods. You can use cryo freeze greatly for marksman rifles or fireworks. That's up to you. And then also nothing really for tacticals other than unless you're going to be using that to kill bosses. And then again, you can just come up here and choose what you feel like the best, or choose a class, and it'll give you my recommended loadout here specifically for that weapon class, so that way you can be able to create the best strategies, the best augment strategies for yourself. So again, this is just zombiesinfohub.com. That's all it is. And then the information from YouTube videos will help you to be able to sort through all of my suggested recommendations. Again, I'm not going to go through every single thing here. You can come directly here and do this yourself. Plus, you get a lot of practicality on utilizing the Zombies Info Hub too, because I know you'll be using a lot more as we kind of get into it. So here's what I want to give just my overall impressions of the camo grind itself, the camos, way they look, and then also just Black Ops 7 Zombies as a whole right now. So first off, I just have to say, I think that our Zombies Master camos look infinitely better than they did in Black Ops 6 Zombies. I also think that the Zombies camos in Black Ops 7 looks better than the rest of the camos for multiplayer, campaign, and also Warzone. I feel that way. So I actually take a lot of pride in the way that these camos look. Now, I think that the Prestige camos actually look really good too. It's actually kind of a struggle for me to choose whether I use some of the Prestige camos so far or the Mastery camos, but they look so good both for Mastery and also Prestige camos. Now, I think that if you are using a lower quality, you don't see the camos as well, like lower quality game. So I had to put the game on like medium to extreme quality in order to see the full details of the camos. I don't really like that. I feel like they should be able to render all the way at basic or minimal quality as well. That's something that I would highly suggest that they fix or change up. Maybe as the game goes on, they'll become much more rendered, much easier. But the weapons do look really good, and they really are a nice show off. There were some cheats. Here's what I want to talk about, like if it was worth the grind versus like actually grinding versus kind of cheating to do it. So there were some cheating ways that people were doing to unlock everything. And by cheating, I mean like some glitches that they were using to be invisible, I guess with Ether Shroud, where they were able to just sit there and just use the Ether Shroud invisibility glitch and have all the zombies go after that, and they just get the headshots there. I don't really care about the cheats at all. Like if you're using cheats or exploits or features, right, of the game to get your kills, like, that's fine. I'm a content creator, so this is a job for me. I feel like content creators shouldn't be using those sorts of exploits because it's our job to learn the structure and the game itself in order to then provide content for you. But like you guys, most people don't have 80 to 100 hours to spend on building their builds and to get the camo grind. So I don't care if you use those kind of things at all. I don't look down upon you guys at all. But there are some. I will never ever specifically tell you which ones are out there. And I don't even know much about which exploits and cheats are out there. I think Treyarch's been pretty quick on patching those up as well already. So as far as feeling like I've earned it, I do feel like I've earned it. And also, I do feel exclusive enough that I have earned the camo amongst the very few people who may have earned the camo by now, having maybe have cheated to get to it or used some sort of exploit, or they actually went ahead and earned it. It did feel really rewarding to finally finish that camo grind. And I feel like I do know a lot about each weapon. This brings me to my next point, which is mastery. The mastery camo grind is built and designed for you to master each weapon. This is why I don't recommend waiting for DLC weapons and skipping certain classes, because the mastery camo grind is built for you to become a master of each weapon. Because of that, and because of the way that the maps are, it's not really just as easy just to sit in one spot and get kills with every single weapon. Yet you can do that in the little house, the little cabin house, or whatever. On the survival map, you can do that in the spot right next to the perk machine for a lot of weapons, but you cannot do it the whole time, and you really can't do it as well after about round 30 or 35 because the zombies are too overwhelming. So it requires you to understand tactics of training again, which was a lost art prior to BO6. And also it requires you to use certain tactics to learn the weapons, learn how they move, learn how they shoot, learn how to use different ammo mods and field upgrades with them all. It actually made you a master of the weapon, which is why the mastery camo grind is so very important to learn. Plus, you also learn how the augments work, especially as you're unlocking augments. Trying different augments, you should be learning that and getting a feel for it. It helps you to master the features of the game with weapons, attachments, and mods, field upgrades, and perks, so that you can best be a master of the game. That's the purpose of the master camo grind. The purpose is not just to get the camo. The camo shows off your mastery. Because of this camo grind, I do feel like I am very well acquainted with the game, with the game's features, with the attachments, with the weapons, and everything. So I'm very excited. Plus, the prestige grind is also going to help you become much more familiarized with it. So that is another piece. The game overall, I feel like Black Ops 7 Zombies is, as I said before, it's just Black Ops 6 2.0. Really, it's like Black Ops 6.5. It's the same exact thing. Like it is. I do, like as I said many times before, I do believe that the game is going to get a lot better as the year goes on. But as of right now, like it's a game. Like it's a video game. It's a Call of Duty game. It's the same exact thing as I expected. I know a lot of people were let down. I don't know why they were let down. My expectations were extremely low, and they performed exactly that. I would not play the game other than to do content for you guys. So otherwise, I'd be playing other video games. So I understand many of you guys not playing the game. The camo grind is not going to be enough to make you want to buy and play the game at all. It's not. But I will say that what we've got is a basic game. Was it worth losing sleep over? I know that you guys have asked me that question a lot. Was the camo grind in Black Ops 7 Zombies worth losing sleep over? I got a total of about 18 hours of sleep over the last 6 days while we were grinding. So this average about 3 hours per day. And was it worth losing sleep? Well, I don't think it was worth losing sleep, but was making content and enjoying being on stream with you guys again and getting all the gameplay feed that I need. Yeah, it was worth it. And I'm also really happy that I did it too, because we got to have a lot of really good conversations and hang out on stream together. So with all of that being said, guys, I have ranted and talked so much. If this video has helped you guys out, let me know with a like and also comment down below any of your additional tips for the camo grind that I left out. I'm sure I left out some. I really just want to kind of get this out of the way with. I needed to get a little bit of sleep because I have, like I said, only had 18 hours of sleep as of the last 18 days. So I'm sure I've left out a lot of other tips. So put those tips down in the comment section below. Also, just to help out other people as they're going through this as well. Also, if this is your first time seeing me, hello, what's going on? How you doing? Stick around by subscribing and ringing the notification bell. We have been shadow banned for the last 9 months on YouTube, so every subscription and every sub helps out immensely to get our information out, because I'm afraid that YouTube won't push our videos like they did last year with the How It Really Works series. So every subscription helps out massively. Thank you guys so much. Thank you also to all the members who are also sponsoring the channel. I definitely appreciate you guys being around and also supporting the channel, especially as we go through this very tough shadow ban situation here on YouTube too. So with all that being said, guys, you guys have a beautiful goddamn day, and I will see you guys on our streams where we're going to be doing each deep dive test together. So see you guys later. Have a good one. Bye, guys. Stop, Max. Max, stop. Max, stop. So we just finished a 96-hour streamathon where we completely mastered and grinded the entire Black Ops 7 Zombies Mastery Camo and also unlocked Infestation, all while live on stream. Now, I am extremely excited to be able to bring you my best tips and tricks in an actual legitimate functional way today in today's video with all of the information, questions, and everything that you guys have. And so So we just finished the entire Black Ops 7, So we just finished a 96-hour streamathon on Black Ops 7 Zombies, completely unlocking the mastery, So we just completed a 96-hour streamathon where we live streamed the entire Black Ops 7 Zombies Mastery Camo grind. And Max, stop. So we just completed a 96-hour streamathon live on YouTube where we unlocked the entire Black Ops 7 Zombies Mastery Camo grind for Infestation. So with that being said, let's just get right into today's video. Okay, I think that's good. I think I should give it one more try. So we just completed a 96-hour streamathon live on YouTube where we did, I'm so excited to be able to bring this information, this education to you guys today. So let's get right to today's video. Good. That's good.